our numbers, we could have passed the bills, but we didn't do that. We have maintained the decorum and we have really kept the patience and we waited, but the Congress party didn't cooperate.
But what's the issue? I mean, you said that you had the meeting with the lead in the Business Advisory Committee. There is representation from all parties. In the houses of the chair also you met, and then business was going as per you. But then what's the provocation according to you? What is the provocation that is then stalling the House?
See, after 4 days trouble, we all agreed to run the House. And suddenly a case came up in United States court and some verdict was there in court. And because of one decision in United courts involving one businessman as an Indian, and then Congress started creating trouble in the House. So that was unfortunate. There are more than 40 million Indians across the globe. They must be involved in so many litigations and other court cases. How can Indian Parliament be stalled just because some Indians are involved in court cases in some other countries? So that is why I told the Congress MPs, but it seems Rahul Gandhi told them to create all kind of scenes. The Rajya Sabha MPs were literally asking me to run the House. All the Rajya Sabha MPs, they said, let us run the House. I said, we will run the House. Why don't you convince Rahul Gandhi? You know, it's not that...
It's like Mr. Rahul Gandhi's personal agenda.
Yeah, it's not that all the Congress MPs want to disrupt the proceedings of the House. Majority of the Congress MPs are like us only, like any other MP, to speak for their people in the House, because everybody wants to speak, raise the voice of the people in the House. But only, it seems, Rahul Gandhi had instructed them to create trouble, because Rahul Gandhi is obsessed with one businessman. And because of that, he wants to create trouble in the House. I don't want to get into personal comment, but what Rahul Gandhi did is very unfortunate, unbecoming of a leader of opposition.
That brings me to another point, Mr. Rijiju. Many would say that it appears as if the BJP is unwilling to accept Mr. Rahul Gandhi as the LOP.
No. That's a completely misunderstanding. We accepted him. I mean, we started functioning the House very well. There's no question of we accepting or not accepting. He is the leader of opposition, nominated by their party. How can we stop that?
And then, Mr. Rijiju, in this din, you have 240 MPs in Lok Sabha. Congress has less than 100, one less than 100. But there are 200 plus MPs from other regional parties. And many of them this time have come out openly, like Samajwadi Party, like TMC, like other regional parties from South, DMK, very strong regional contingent. They have all come out and said that, look, I mean, if you continue to disturb the houses on one pretext or the other, when do we get to voice our concerns of our people? This parliament is to voice the concern of all the regional aspirations.
See, all the MPs are responsible people. They are elected to the parliament to speak for their people. All the MPs have equal rights. Opposition, ruling, regional parties, national parties, doesn't matter. Every MP has got equal right to speak in the House. Because of one Congress leader, many MPs have been deprived of that privilege which they are having to speak in the parliament. That is why I told the Congress MPs, please tell your leader, Sri Rahul Gandhi, not to be too obsessive with one businessman and then create problem, thereby preventing other MPs from speaking in the House. Government, if desires to pass the bill, will be in a position to do it by sheer number. But that is not a good practice. So I feel Congress party should put together all their minds. They should tell their leader, Sri Rahul Gandhi, not to create trouble for them also and to other MPs also. Let us run the House. You want to make points on the floor of the House. Who stops you? You can speak.
And in the constitution debate, which was quite a landmark debate on the adoption of our constitution, we saw that every party MP did forcefully put forward their views.
Most of the MPs made very good interventions. Prime Minister Modi ji had given a very good conclusion to the debate on the 50 years of the adoption of the Constitution of India. Things were going very well. In fact, due to this debate on the Constitution, the Parliament is enriched. Parliament got lots of good suggestions and observations from the MPs. That is how the parliamentary democracy gets its entitled, like being a best system in the world. But just because of one leader or one incident, all other good things are overshadowed. That is unfortunate. I think I will also request other MPs also, if everybody puts pressure to Congress party and Rahul Gandhi, good sense must prevail. I think it should.
And Mr. Rijiju, during the debate also, one part of Home Minister Amit Shah's speech has been taken out and great offense has been made out of that. In fact, some privilege motions have been moved against Mr. Amit Shah. I'm sure you were there. I'm sure you were, since you are the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, you saw through the entire proceedings. What is the crux of the matter here? Was the Home Minister actually disparaging towards the writer of the Constitution of this country?
See, if you hear the entire speech of Home Minister Amit Shah ji, he has eloquently paid tributes to Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar ji and also highlighted his contributions and how we have devoted ourselves to carry the legacy of Baba Sahib Ambedkar and also to promote his ideals. During the entire debate, he just mentioned a line which is referring to the opposition parties continuously taking Ambedkar's name, misusing his names. He was referring to that. So that portion was wrongly taken out, a video of maybe 12-second length. And that video was circulated and they wanted to create problem because in the debate, it was very clear that Congress party had continuously insulted Ambedkar ji and they never paid any respect to him even after his demise, even denying him the Bharat Ratna. So after coming out of all these facts through the debate and discussion, Congress must have got into the back foot. So they desperately tried to mislead the nation by taking out a small clip of Home Minister's speech. That was unfortunate. But anyway, the privilege notice has been served.
And similarly, a privilege notice, or rather notice to remove the Vice President from his chair was also served, which was also history-making, and it has been now dismissed by the
I was very surprised. In the Rajya Sabha, there are very senior members in the Congress party. How could they make such frivolous mistakes, you know? 4 points I want to mention. First of all, the notice to remove the Vice President must accompany a resolution of the House. The resolution was never moved, so the notice itself did not accompany a resolution. Secondly, notice must be served 14 days prior to that. So that was not done. Thirdly, the notice itself is not addressed to anybody. It was just written in a plain paper. You don't do that in a parliamentary system. And then finally, even the name of Vice President was wrong. They were serving a notice and the name itself they mentioned was wrong. The spelling of the Honorable Vice President was mentioned and written in a wrong manner. How can they do that? not even one count, the notice was valid.
Mr. Rijiju, before I let you go, my final question to you is the fact that, look, what has happened is unfortunate. Probably nobody wants to see the repeat of these kind of scene in this country. It has a very, as you said, enriched parliamentary democracy system, probably the best in the entire third world which adopted democracy post-independence. Surely, as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Mr. Rijiju, you would want to go an extra step, take an extra step and appeal to your colleagues in the opposition. They are your colleagues at the end of the day. And that the spirit of collegiality should prevail and Parliament should not see these scenes.
Yes, other than what has happened, we are talking to each other. This morning also I talked to them and we keep meeting. But sometimes I think the narrow political motives supersedes the larger call of duty. So it's a obligation on the part of every member of the parliament, especially the leaders, to look back and see that those wrong deeds are not repeated in future. Whatever has happened, we can't go back and recorrect it, but everybody must ensure that the mistakes are not repeated, and especially any kind of act which undermines the parliamentary democracy and the sanctity of the House. That's what I want to appeal. And many other MPs came to me. They said that the Congress party has really prevented the other MPs from making best use of the House.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rijiju. I am thankful that on a very, very busy day for you, you have taken out for NDTV's viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This week on India Ascends.
Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascends with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently.
I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India. bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience. Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City Mumbai
to the seat of governance Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascents.
Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascents with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently.
I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
Welcome back. The big political headline from Telangana. The BRS versus Congress face-off is only intensifying. Dramatic scenes inside the Telangana Assembly, with the BRS MLAs protesting against the Congress government. Well, the BRS alleges that there have been discrepancies as far as the Dharavi portal is concerned. Remember, there's a crucial land portal as far as Telangana goes, and a big controversy over the Dharavi portal. Remember, there have been multiple flashpoints between KTR and Revant Reddy. The fight has certainly gotten personal, and now dramatic scenes inside the Telangana Assembly. That will take a short break now, but news continues on the top of the hour.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascents.
Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascents with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं।
I was a student up until very recently.
I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
ये सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी।
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV.
Former RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan puts the erstwhile UPA government in the dock, says UPA times and its corruption led to NPAs in key banks. The winter session of the Parliament concludes amid ruckus. A showdown over Ambedkar and the Parliament scuffle continues. This is a One Nation, One Election bill has now been sent to the Joint House panel. The BRS versus Revant Reddy government over land portal now. Dramatic scenes inside the assembly. BRS MLAs protest with placards in the well of the House.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro. World's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
One Nation, One Election JPC panel expanded. More opposition MPs included in the committee.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju launches a scathing attack on Rahul Gandhi. He says that one man's agenda is stalling the parliament. Parliament winter session concludes amid ruckus. Showdown over Ambedkar and scuffle continued. One nation, one poll bill now sent to the Joint Parliamentary Committee. Ex-RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan puts UPA government in the dock. He says that UPA graft led to bank NPAs. It is BRS versus Revanth Reddy government over land portal. BRS MLAs protest inside the Telangana Assembly. 11 people killed in a massive Jaipur fire. Collision of two trucks led to deadly blaze. NDTV accesses CCTV footage which captures the moment of collision. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah in an exclusive interview to NDTV after a stormy winter session of the Parliament. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju, he made scathing remarks at the Lok Sabha Leader of Opposition and Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. He said that Rahul Gandhi's agenda is to stall the Parliament. He further added that all other Congress MPs, they want the Parliament to function.
Today seems to be a day when certainly some very unpleasant developments have happened in the Parliament, and you are the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, the Cabinet Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, and it certainly can't be a happy occasion for you too, Mr. Rijiju.
Definitely, if incidents which are not appropriate as per the parliamentary conventions, you are bound to have a feeling which is not happy. But having said that, sometimes in parliamentary democracy, it does happen. Parliaments are normally a very noisy place. People make lots of issues which are very loud. Things do happen, but it should not get out of control. Parliamentary democracy must run. It must reflect the will of the people. It happened. I'm not very happy with the incident, especially which happened yesterday, involving leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha and the other MPs. It was avoidable, but it happened. But now, today, it cooled down a little bit. Yeah.
And surely, Mr. Rijiju, I agree, parliaments are very noisy places. Even in the Western world, we have seen a lot of places from Australia to New Zealand that sometimes things do get unruly. But surely it should not come to a stage where the leader of opposition is being booked by the local police in a case of fisticuffs and physical brawl. Surely it should not come to that.
I agree with that. There are heated exchanges in words in the parliament. It's been there since 1952. I mean, it's nothing new. But when incident which leads to injury and police case, then it's very unfortunate. The police action, whatever is, being there, you have heard in the news, it's because the injury which led to 2 MPs admitted in a hospital. So when it becomes injury and admission in a hospital, then it becomes a police case. I have nothing much more to comment because police will look into the matter as per the rules and the laws. But it was avoidable. I mean, leader of opposition should not get into physical mode.
You said that, I'm quoting you. You said that, leader of opposition seems to have taken his karate and kung fu lessons way too seriously, and he is getting physical with the member of parliament.
Yes, see, martial arts, it's for physical defense. You learn martial art normally it is said that it's for the act of self-defense. But I believe whatever games, sports, martial arts, it's for physical well-being. These are for your fitness, your fine-tuning of your body, not to hit somebody. Except for the sports. Those who play sports, they hit each other to score the points. But Rahul Gandhi coming to Parliament with T-shirts and then pushing around an old, fragile MP, that is not Mardangi. That is not, showing that you are, a good parliamentarian. Muscle power is not the symbol of a good parliamentarian.
Brawn is not the brain in this case. But Mr. Rijiju, tell me, Mr. Gandhi denies all of that. He says he hasn't hit anybody. He said it's the BJP MP who were obstructing his way. He also says that, in fact, Mr. Khadge, leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, was pushed and his knees were injured.
No, everything is very clear. The BJP MPs were protesting there in the Makkar main gate, where Rahul Gandhi and his MPs were protesting for last 1 week. So BJP MPs also started protesting there. That is one of the entry gates. But Rahul Gandhi forcefully broke through. He pushed around. But our MPs did not retaliate. That's what I was saying yesterday also in the Parliament, that BJP MPs were also there in large numbers and quite physical, presence there, which could be intimidating. But BJP MPs were very careful. Nobody got into physical, nobody tried to use the force. And we did not use our numbers for physical advantage. Physical advantage is something which you can't consider in parliamentary democracy. Physical numbers is for voting, it's for running the house. Democracy runs with numbers. It's a representation of the people. So it's with the numbers you pass the bills, you run the government, not to hit the opponents. But somehow Rahul Gandhi, I don't know, I never thought Rahul Gandhi will get into physical mode like that. He started pushing around and two of our aged MPs got injured. Very sad.
But then, Mr. Rijiju, inquiry should be on both the sides of allegations, right? Yes. Inquiry should also be on the fact that Mr. Khadge says his knees are injured.
No, he's not injured. He said his knee had a problem. How can you hit Khadge, such an old, respected man? Let us not get into the two-meme thing. Two MPs got admitted. They can't hit themselves, no? Somebody pushed them. So that is, Rahul Gandhi pushed them. It's very clear. So no need to really get into the blame game.
Well, as far as the Joint Parliamentary Committee over One Nation, One Poll is concerned, sources say that P.P. Chaudhary, he is said to be the chairperson of that particular committee. A Joint Parliamentary Committee, remember, had been formed with 39 members consisting of 27 Lok Sabha members and 12 Rajya Sabha members. This panel also includes representatives from Shiv Sena and the other opposition parties.
Right. So, because he is a trusted person, and more so, he's someone who has understanding of legal nitty-gritties. So in all, 39 MPs will be part of this Joint Parliamentary Committee, 12 from the Rajya Sabha and 27 in all from the Lok Sabha, which includes Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, the Member of Parliament of the Congress Party from Wayanad. And if you look at the fact that there are MPs from various political parties, including Supriya Sule, who is a Member of Parliament from Baramati, and also NCP Sharad Pawar faction leader. P.P. Chaudhary becoming the chairman was almost given from the word go. But the overall picture, or should I say the representation which is there in this JPC becomes important, because this is the second bill in this 18th Lok Sabha which has been sent to a joint parliamentary committee. The first one which was sent was the WAF amendment bill, and the second one is now this crucial One Nation, One Election, or should I say 129th Constitution Amendment Bill. which is colloquially known as One Nation, One Poll. So there will be deliberations which will be happening. Remember, the Prime Minister, when the bill was being cleared much before it was tabled in the cabinet, he had suggested that it should be sent to the JPC immediately so that all political parties get a say in what should be the direction of election in future. Because it's a very crucial legislation and it will have pan-India impact and which will have an overall impact on the federal structure as well.
A stormy winter session of the Parliament, it came to an end. There were protests and counter-protests, allegations and counter-allegations, scuffles, MPs getting hospitalized. It was indeed an eventful winter session that has concluded. Both the houses have been adjourned sine die. Politics and protests, they have continued. In fact, the row over Ambedkar, that has also continued amid the entire scuffle that happened yesterday. Congress says that it is adamant that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah should resign over his comments on Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, BJP MP's injury case. Rahul Gandhi has been booked and FIR has been filed against him. Congress, in the meanwhile, has slammed that FIR against Rahul Gandhi, while the BJP has said that the arrogant Rahul Gandhi must apologize.
The world watches our democracy. Yet we fail our citizens through conduct. These parliamentary disruptions mock public trust and expectations. Our fundamental duty to serve with diligence lies neglected. Where seasoned dialogue should prevail, we witness only chaos. I urge every parliamentarian, regardless of party, to examine their conscience. The citizens of our democracy, 1/6 of humanity, deserve better than this spectacle. We squander precious opportunities that could serve the greater good of our people. I hope the honorable members will introspect deeply and citizens exercise their accountability.
काज हम लोग मेहनत करने से जो तय किया है उससे भी ज़्यादा काम कर सकते हैं, 100% से हम लोग आगे जा सकते हैं, लेकिन प्रतिशत में कमी आने का मुख्य कारण है जो विपक्ष दलों ने पार्लियामेंट का अंदर में जो हंगामा किया, नारेबाजी करके व्यवधान किया, उसके वजह से हमारे काम काज का प्रतिशत में बहुत कमी आई है। बिल्स इंट्रोड्यूस भी हुए हैं, लोकसभा राज्यसभा से पारित भी हुए हैं, लेकिन जितना हम लिस्टेड किए हैं उतना हम नहीं कर पाया, उसके लिए हम दुखी है। लेकिन आगे ऐसा ना हो, मैं अपेक्षा कर सकता हूं और अनुरोध भी कर रहा हूं, आग्रह कर रहा हूं, खास करके हमारे विपक्ष के साथियों को कि आने वाला दिन जो बजट सत्र आने वाले हैं उसमें फिर से इस तरह का हंगामा ना करें तो देश को अच्छा लगेगा और हम लोग को भी अच्छा लगेगा, क्योंकि हमारा काम देश को सेवा करना है, ना कि यह हंगामा करना।
कि कितने डेस्परेट हो गए हैं कि आज ऐसे एकदम झूठी बातें, झूठा FIR, राहुल जी कभी किसी को पुश नहीं करेंगे। मैं उनकी बहन हूँ, इतने सालों से मैं जानती हूँ, कभी इस तरह की हरकत कभी कर ही नहीं सकते। और फ्रैंकली देश भी जानता है, देश देख रहा है कितने डेस्परेट हो गए हैं ये लोग कि इस तरह की फालतू के FIR लगा रहे हैं। और जो इन्होंने किया है अम्बेडकर जी के साथ, जिस तरह से अपमान किया है, ये जानते हैं कि ये देश नहीं सहेगा ये अपमान, इसीलिए ये सब डिस्ट्रैक्शन है, बस यही है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक बहुत सोचा समझा मॉडल है कि वो पहले अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल काम करते हैं, गैर कानूनी काम करते हैं, और अगर आप उसमें विरोध करने आते हैं तो प्रशासन से, शासन से आपके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करते हैं। जिस तरह का भाव राज्यसभा में था वो बाबा साहब भीमराव अम्बेडकर जी का अपमान है।
Session of the Parliament has officially ended with that press conference by Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju, who clearly said that, Rajya Sabha recorded a productivity of just 40% and Lok Sabha recorded a productivity of just about 64%. So this is not really great news for the government or, for that matter, the opposition. There were just about 7 bills that were passed by either of the houses, and there was just one bill, which is the Vayuyan Videyak bill, or the civil aviation bill, which was passed by both houses. There were 15 new bills bills that were supposed to be introduced, and these were seen as transformative, reformative in nature. But of course, legislative agenda, issues that really concern the country took a backseat because this session was all about disruptions. It was all about, it was all about unscheduled adjournments, and more importantly, it also ended up in two MPs of the BJP getting hospitalized, and a senior, president of a political party, 82-year-old Mallikarjun Kharge, also alleging that he got sort of injured. So clearly, this is not good news, and there's only so much that we can expect from the next session, which will be the budget session of the Parliament, another critical session of the Parliament, but that's in the next year. This year has ended with not so much productivity, and I think it's also a reflection of the kind of election results that we have seen this year. Lok Sabha election results giving a reduced mandate to the BJP, but Narendra Modi coming back to power, and Modi 3.0 also starting with a lot of promises of governance. And of course, BJP getting victories in both Haryana and Maharashtra. But the opposition, while had a regenerated momentum with Lok Sabha elections, also in some ways failing to politically optimize on that. All of that, in some ways reflected in a sense of resistance and a sense of aggression in the Parliament that was seen in the floor of the houses.
Meanwhile, my colleague Anushka Garg, she spoke to Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy, who gave an update on the health update of the two MPs who were injured.
तरीके से हम देख रहे हैं दो सांसद इस वक्त अंदर भर्ती हैं बीजेपी के जो पार्लियामेंट में स्कफल हुआ, क्या कुछ कहेंगे, किस तरीके की हालात है अभी उनके?
बिल्कुल, दोनों का अभी भी ऑब्जर्वेशन में है। मैं डॉक्टर से भी बात किया और ऑफिसर से भी बात किए, अभी ऑब्जर्वेशन में। वहाँ शाम को फिर डॉक्टर्स मिलकर निर्णय लेकर उनको रिव्यू शिफ्ट करना और ऑब्जर्वेशन में रखना है, वो देख लें। इसी
लगातार कांग्रेस कह रही है कि अमित शाह को जो अपना बयान है बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर को लेकर के, उसको लेकर के रिजाइन देना चाहिए।
डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर के बारे में कांग्रेस पार्टी को बात करने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। जिंदगी भर डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर को कदम कदम पर अपमान किया, हराया इलेक्शन में, और डॉक्टर बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर स्वर्गवासी होने के बाद भी उनको कोई रिकॉग्निशन नहीं दिए, उनको बोलने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है।
So this was BJP MP Mr. G. Kishan Reddy, who has clearly said that Congress is the party who has insulted Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar on several occasions, and that is why this all scuffle has happened. They have no right to speak over this whole topic. With camera person Kumar Mukesh, this is Anushka Garg for NDTV.
Well, the battle for the Delhi Assembly polls, it is heating up. According to sources, the BJP won't declare a chief ministerial face for the upcoming elections. Instead, they are focusing on finalizing their list of candidates, which is expected to be out soon. The Delhi Legislative Assembly election is scheduled to take place in February of 2025, with all 70 seats up for grabs. The Aam Aadmi Party, led by Arvind Kejriwal, is looking to retain power, while the BJP is seeking to gain control of the state. And Raghuram Rajan has put the UPA government in the dock on bad loans and NPAs. He is, in fact, the former Reserve Bank of India governor has pointed fingers at the UPA government for the non-performing assets crisis in India's banking system. According to Raghuram Rajan, the roots of the problem go back to the UPA era, specifically between 2006 and 2008, when there was excessive lending to well-connected promoters who had a history of defaulting on loans. Rajan also defended his action in initiating a cleanup of bank books by identifying stressed and non-performing assets. He claimed that he had informed the then finance minister about the need to clean up the banking system, and Jaitley had given the go-ahead for the cleanup process. And at least 11 people were killed in a massive fire that broke out following a truck collision outside a petrol pump in Rajasthan's Jaipur. This incident took place around 5:30 a.m. on Ajmer Road when a CNG tanker parked near the petrol pump caught fire after a truck collided with other vehicles. According to officials, several more people are feared dead, while 35 others have been injured. Several victims are in a critical condition, is what the officials have said. This explosion was so intense that several vehicles within a 300-meter radius were engulfed and completely burned. Rajasthan Chief Minister Bhajanlal Sharma, in fact, met the victims in the hospital. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah also called up the Rajasthan Chief Minister in order to sort out the details.
Deepji, can you explain to me? There are 3 petrol pumps in this area. We have actually narrowly averted a very big disaster. If these petrol pumps had also caught fire, I cannot think what could have happened here.
It would be a very disaster. और दूसरा मैडम प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि ये जो यहाँ पे ये कट है, ये कट में आप मानेंगे नहीं,
आप मेरे को बताइए हुआ क्या? हाँ,
हुआ ये कि मैडम ये टैंकर जा रहा था और इस कट के पास में आने के बाद वो टैंकर तो मुड़ा, तो ये इधर वाले जो इधर ट्रक जा रहा था इसने उसको टक्कर मार दी। एंड देन ये क्योंकि एलपीजी दी तो ये हवा के साथ बहती है, तो पहले इसकी हवा इस तरफ थी तो ये पहले इधर इन्होंने आग पकड़ी जिस चीज़ पे आया। एंड द मोस्ट सबसे समस्या ये थी कि मैडम ये जो गाड़ियाँ हैं ये बंद हो गई। जैसे ट्रक भी आप देख रहे हैं जो सामने खड़ा है, ये भी चालक ने इसको चलाने की बहुत कोशिश की लेकिन चला नहीं है, वहाँ बंद हो गया, तो फिर वो आग फैलती गई। देन वो जैसे जैसे हवा की जिस जिधर हवा होती है उस तरफ वो फ्लो करती है और नीचे फ्लो करती है और इतनी फास्ट फ्लो करती है कि अगर वह चनगारी पकड़ ले तो आप भगने का टाइम नहीं देती वो आपको। तो ये सब हुआ।
I have 2 people with me. अरविंद जी, पहले आप मेरे को बताइए कि एग्जैक्टली क्या हुआ, क्या टाइम हुआ?
मैम आगे 5:30 बजे की बात है, हम लोग जयपुर से चल के भीलवाड़ा जा रहे थे। सामने वो आप जो देख रहे हैं वहाँ कट से एक टैंकर निकला, टैंकर रोड पे आया, इधर से कंटेनर जा रहा, दोनों आपस में भिड़ गए और जैसे ही दोनों की टकराट हुई गैस का रिसाव हुआ, हमारी गाड़ियों तक आया, जबकि मेरी गाड़ी 200 मीटर दूर थी। जैसे ही गैस आई ऑटोमेटिकली जितनी भी जो गाड़ियाँ रोड पे चल रही थी वो ऑटोमेटिकली बंद हो गई गैस के फ्लो से। हमने स्टार्ट करने की कोशिश की तो स्टार्ट नहीं हुई, गैस का रिसाव ज़्यादा हुआ तो मैंने, मेरे पैसेंजर थे मेरी गाड़ी में 4 पैसेंजर थे, चारों को उतारा फटाफट से।
And the latest in the Bengaluru engineer's death, the mother of Atul Subhash, the Bengaluru engineer who died by suicide on the 9th of December, has approached the Supreme Court seeking custody of a 4-year-old grandson. Subhash left behind a video and written notes alleging harassment and false accusations from his wife and in-laws. Anju Modi, the mother, has filed a habeas corpus petition in order to secure the custody of her grandson, whose whereabouts are currently missing. In fact, my colleague Nupur Dogra joins us to get us more on this story. Nupur, an ugly battle has ensured post the death of this Bengaluru techie. Just give us the details, especially with respect to this, with respect to Atul Subhash's mother going to the Supreme Court now.
So basically today the Supreme Court has issued notices to 3 governments on Anju Modi's petition. Anju Modi is Atul Subhash's mother. So Anju Modi has filed a habeas corpus petition in the Supreme Court to secure the custody of her 4-year-old grandson. The grandson's whereabouts are reportedly unknown since the whole tragedy took place after Atul Subhash's suicide and following the arrest of Nikita Singhania, his estranged wife. The whereabouts are reportedly unknown for the 4-year-old boy. So now Anju Modi has moved the Supreme Court with a habeas corpus petition, and the Supreme Court will hear the matter again on 7th January. It has sought response from the Karnataka government, from the Uttar Pradesh government and the Haryana government for the same. And so basically they will be required to produce the boy in front of the judge. That is what habeas corpus means. So Nikita reportedly has previously not disclosed who's under the custody. Nikita and her family members who are under custody have not disclosed the location of the boy. However, she previously reportedly told that the boy was enrolled in a Faridabad school with one of her uncle, Sushil Singhania. However, her uncle Sushil Singhania has also denied any knowledge about the location of the 4-year-old boy. So the matter now has reached the Supreme Court, and basically the fight for custody seems to be will be taken forward in the Supreme Court now.
All right, Nupur Dogra, thank you very much for getting us all the latest in this story. Time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
on India Ascends.
Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascends with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascends. Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men. How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end. And broken souls in a broken system.
Welcome back. Breaking news coming in at this point. BJP MLC CT Ravi, he has been granted bail by the High Court. The High Court has ordered immediate release of CT Ravi. Remember, CT Ravi was held over derogatory remarks that he made to Hebulkar. He was in fact produced by the Belagavi police had produced Mr. CT Ravi, who had been arrested for allegedly derogatory remarks that he made against Karnataka Minister Lakshmi Hebulkar before the local magistrates court. Today, after hearing both the sides, the judge adjourned the hearing earlier, and now it has ordered the release of Mr. CT Ravi there. So the BJP MLC CT Ravi was produced in the Belagavi court. The hearing was first adjourned and then he was later released as per the court. The court has ordered immediate release of the BJP MLC CT Ravi. Big relief for CT Ravi in that alleged harassment case. He was taken into custody yesterday evening in a rather dramatic manner. The police lifting him up on their shoulders, and then putting him in the police van. The Karnataka High Court has now granted bail to CT Ravi. Remember, CT Ravi was held over his derogatory remarks that he made against the Karnataka minister. There was a lot of back and forth that took place. In fact, Lakshmi Hebulkar had in fact accused him of making derogatory remarks there, and in rather dramatic manner, Mr. CT Ravi was then taken into custody, and now the High Court has now ordered release. My colleague Maria Shakil joins us to get us more on this. Maria, what are the latest details?
Told by the court now is that because this bail plea had come up before the court there, and the Karnataka High Court going ahead and granting him bail. The larger concern certainly was that is there enough evidence against him and the manner in which he was arrested. He was forcefully removed from the assembly premises. And now what the court has ordered an immediate release of CT Ravi. He had made, remember, that derogatory remark against the minister there in Siddaramaia's cabinet. But the larger concern is about the dip, or should I say, the deteriorating, political discourse in general, and how women leaders are invariably targeted by their male colleagues. I think that should be the larger concern. Besides, of course, for the immediate news that we can tell our viewers is that CT Ravi has been granted bail.
All right, Maria Shakil, thank you very much for getting us all the latest as far as CT Ravi's bail is concerned. And there has been partial relief for KT Ramarao from the High Court. The High Court has ordered not to arrest KTR for at least 1 week, refusing to be pushed on the back foot after the filing of an FIR naming him as the #1 accused in the Formula E racing case. BRS leader KT Ramarao, he in fact told NDTV's Uma Sudhir in an exclusive chat that the Congress had tried to put him on the mat over multiple issues in the last 1 year. In fact, in the Formula E case, he says it is at best an irregularity in procedure, not an illegality or embezzlement. In fact, my colleague Uma Sudhir joins us to get us more on this. Uma, despite all the allegations that have been leveled against KTR, he has remained defiant, and at the same time, from what we understand at the moment, he has been, the High Court has ordered not to arrest KTR for 1 week.
Yes, indeed. A lot of apprehension in the BRS circles about whether KT Ramarao is going to be arrested earliest. And he had gone to court today asking for quashing of the ACB FIR that was filed against him, naming him as A1 in this particular case. So a lunch motion was moved and subsequently arguments were heard, and CA Mariamman Sundaram argued on behalf of KTR and Sudarshan Reddy on behalf of the prosecution. And in this particular case, after the arguments were given, the High Court has now said that for 7 days, Mr. KT Ramarao will not be arrested by the ACB. They have asked Mr. KTR to cooperate with the investigation, and they have also given time till the 30th for counter to be filed in this particular case. The arguments went like this, saying that, why there was a 14-month delay in the filing of this case after the developments that happened, and also that there was no preliminary probe as is required before an FIR is lodged. All of that was dismissed by Sudarshan Reddy, who claimed that there was a preliminary probe that took place, and only after that was an FIR lodged. And the Chief Minister also spoke in the Assembly about this entire issue and said that he was countering what Mr. KT Ramarao had argued last night, and also in an exclusive chat with us, he had said that the Chief Minister met with the FEO organizers, the Formula E operator representative in the month of December after becoming Chief Minister. And the Chief Minister said there is nothing to deny in that. Yes, I did meet him, and it is after that I got wind of what has actually transpired when I asked the officers about the deals that had been entered into, or rather the agreements that had been entered into. That's what the Chief Minister said. So while the argument of the BRS was to have a discussion on the floor of the House, all day long there is ruckus in the Assembly, and the BRS in fact even walked out. There is an adjournment for 15 minutes because the Congress alleged that the Speaker was being attacked and that there was an attempt to manhandle a minister. And subsequently, the Chief Minister announced that the government is open to having a discussion on Formula E race as requested by the BRS party. And yes, the other important development in the House today was the Bhu Bharti bill on land administration that was passed by the government. Of course, not before a lot of criticism of the Dharavi, but earlier today, I spoke with Mr. KT Ramarao, who wanted to explain about why he thinks this is not an illegality, but possibly a procedural irregularity at its worst. So the Congress government in Telangana has opened up multiple fronts against the opposition BRS after the FIR against Mr. KT Ramarao, who I have with me. Also, another SIT they are saying in the toll tenders that you had drawn up for the ORR, the Outer Ring Road. Isn't this all setting you back politically?
Absolutely not. The Congress party's governance in Telangana has been an abysmal failure. They promised the moon to the people before the elections. हथेली में जन्नत दिखा दिया, वोट तो ले लिया, गद्दी पे बैठ गए. बैठने के बाद नहीं समझ आ रहा है कि सरकार कैसे चलाए. तो पिछले 1 साल से जो चल रहा है तेलंगाना में वो सरकार नहीं है, सर्कस चल रहा है. When a clown enters a palace, as they say, the whole government becomes a circus, and that's exactly what's happening in Telangana today. The Congress government is clueless on how to handle finances, on how to fulfill poll promises, how to deliver. So what do? They've been indulging in attention diversion tactics. They've been filing case after case. They were tried to go after me on multiple things. They tried to go after me saying, when my family was celebrating Diwali, they raided the place and they started calling it a rave party. And then they said my farm was illegal, dismantle it. Then they said the farmer incident, the farmer protest that happened in Kodangal, I was the chief conspirator. Then they tried to say some other nasty things through a lady minister. So this is like the 5th or 6th attempt now against me in 1 year. And I think it will only go on for the next 4 years. I'm not perturbed, I'm not disturbed. I will continue to remain unwavered with my focus on ensuring that the poll promises of Congress party are kept. No matter what they throw at us, we'll fight it legally, we'll fight it politically. Because today, if you take the example of the case in question, the Formula E race where an FIR has been filed. What is the...
That's what I'm saying. You are saying there is no embezzlement, but there is an irregularity in terms of the procedure that was followed for transferring the money. Isn't that something that can make you liable as well?
Well, simple question. ACB is the abbreviation for Anti-Corruption Bureau. When there is no embezzlement, when there is no corruption, where is the question of Anti-Corruption Bureau investigating anything at all? If there is a procedural lapse, there are other agencies to look after it. So let the government actually pick the right agency at least. They don't even have the common sense कि किसको केस देना चाहिए. ऐसे लोगों से क्या बात करें हम लोग. इसीलिए I am going to the court of law. challenging this nonsensical FIR, and we'll certainly take it head on. See, the issue is simple. This government, like I said, is clueless on delivering promises, so therefore they resort to these attention diversion tactics. No problem, we will face anything that gets thrown at us. Politically, legally, we'll fight back.
Meanwhile, the BRS MLAs, they protested over the Dharavi portal. There was ruckus in the Telangana Assembly. There was a row over multiple issues. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, he said that there is no objection to discussing the Formula E case. In fact, he targeted BRS over the land scam. This entire row is over the Dharavi portal. BRS MLAs, they protested inside the Assembly. Both the BRS and Revanth Reddy's government locked horns over the land portal. BRS government, remember, it created the portal for land records, while Revanth Reddy's government, the Congress government, scrapped the portal over corruption. And in a significant appeal which will be heard by the US Supreme Court, the US government has upheld the extradition of the terrorist Rahul Rana to India. If the appeal is accepted, Rana will be brought to India, a major battle to track down and prosecute those involved in the Mumbai 26/11 attack plot in which 166 people, they were killed. Rahul Rana, a Canadian citizen, he was involved with David Coleman Headley in plotting terrorist attacks with Lashkar-e-Toiba, including the 2008 Mumbai attacks. Rana was convicted in the United States for providing material support to terrorism, but he was acquitted on charges that was related directly to the Mumbai attacks. The central question and the big question is whether Rana's extradition to India is barred by a clause in the extradition treaty between the United States and India, which prevents an individual from being convicted or acquitted for the same offense twice, once in the United States and once in India. The US government argues that the offenses for which India seeks extradition have elements different from those Rana was charged or acquitted on in the United States. Thus, extradition is not barred. Meanwhile, Rahul Rana, who has been in the news regarding this entire controversy, he allegedly helped the prime accused David Coleman Headley to obtain a business visa for in India under the guise of opening a Mumbai branch of his immigration business, providing material support to Lashkar-e-Toiba, a terrorist organization. Rana, in fact, was also involved in a plot to attack the Danish newspaper, which had published controversial cartoons of Prophet Muhammad. India has sought Rana's extradition for his alleged role in the Mumbai attacks, charging him with conspiracy, waging war against the government of India, murder, and other terrorism-related offenses.
Rahul Rana, who's considered to be one of the masterminds, an alleged mastermind behind the 26/11 attacks here in Mumbai. He's a Canadian national and he's been in the US for quite some time now. And in the month of August early this year, we saw that his extradition, became very substantial, and the development started going on the right track as far as Indian perspective is concerned. But Rahul Rana tried his best while he has been imprisoned in the United States to appeal to the higher court to get away with his, with his extradition. But more importantly, I'm joined here by Mr. Dilip Mehta, who used to work for Pegasus Shipping and is now working for promoting travel in Latin America. And he's an individual who was present in the hotel, when these attacks took place. Let us try and understand from him how much does this development matter to someone who's seen this particular tragedy take place from up close and personal. So thanks for joining with us.
Thank you, NDTV, for looking up for me and taking my interview, my perspective. Yes, I'm in my 17th birthday, technically, being one of the hostage on 26/11 at the Taj on the 19th floor, was attending a conference. And that was a day where I will never forget in my life, being a hostage for 9 hours or so. But I've been pursuing about Mr. Rana, Rahul Rana, who deserves to be extradited from US to India. He's tried his level best with the High Court, and then in the Supreme Court he had filed the writ certiorari petition, which got rejected by these at the instance of the Solicitor General, Miss Elizabeth, who was instrumental in arguing correctly. And now I think it's a huge development for India and Indians, specifically for people who are sufferers due to 26/11 attack on that fateful day. So I have been a survivor, and each year on this day, I must tell you that I get back to into retrospect of that particular day, and I feel honestly very traumatized even now as I speak to you here this afternoon. So I think it's a huge development. Finally, he's going to be extradited to India, and the Indian government has been very successful in this endeavor, which has been going on for a long time.
Time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
ये सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the state of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascends.
Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascends with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचा.
Welcome back. Addressing Bihar's Business Connect 2024 in Patna, Director of the Adani Enterprises, Pranav Adani, emphasized on Bihar's transformation and said, while the Adani Group is already the largest private investor in Bihar, the group will now invest rupees 23,000 crore more in 3 sectors in Bihar and aims to create 27,000 more jobs with this fresh investment in the state.
आप पिछले बार भी यहाँ आए थे इन्वेस्टमेंट समिट में और इस बार भी आए हैं. जहाँ तक अदानी के कमिटमेंट की बात है बिहार को लेके, उसमें क्या चेंजेस हैं?
नहीं, वी आर फुल्ली कमिटेड. हमने लास्ट टाइम भी जब लास्ट ईयर में आया था बिज़नेस कनेक्ट में, बिहार बिज़नेस कनेक्ट में, तभी भी हमने बोला था कि हम और करेंगे, ज़्यादा इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. यहाँ पर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, ईज़ ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, सपोर्ट फ्रॉम ऑल दी गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर वेरी गुड. और हम ये चेष्टा करते हैं कि जो सभी बिजनेसेस में जो हम इन्वॉल्व है एज अ ग्रुप, दी अदानी ग्रुप, वो यहाँ पर करेंगे. वेदर
किस किस सेक्टर में अदानी ग्रुप वुड बी इंटरेस्टेड और टिकट साइज़ क्या होगा? व्हाट हैव यू प्रॉमिस्ड टू द गवर्नमेंट?
नो, सी राइट नाउ लास्ट टाइम जैसे हमने बताया था कि जुलाई के महीने में हम लोग ने यहाँ वर्सलीगंज में 10 मिलियन टन्स का सीमेंट का प्लांट फाउंडेशन स्टोन ऑलरेडी कर लिया है. ऑनरेबल सीएम साहब भी आए थे, तो वो तो एक एक्सपेंशन कर रहे हैं और भी लोकेशंस देख रहे हैं. उसके सिवाय हमारे सीजीडी सेक्टर में, उसके सिवाय हमारे एग्री लॉजिस्टिक्स सेक्टर में, ईवी, सीबीजी सब में तो देख ही रहे हैं. एनर्जी सेक्टर में भी हम अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ देख रहे हैं, क्या क्या नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है यहाँ पर. क्योंकि देखिए यहाँ पर जो बिहार जिस तरह भी ग्रो कर रहा है, इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी ऑफ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंस, इज़ गोइंग टू बी ऑफ एनर्जी बेसिकली, कि हाउ टू इंक्रीज़ दी एनर्जी कैपेसिटी.
जितने लास्ट आपसे सवाल, जितने भी प्रोमिसेस हुए हैं या एमओयू साइन हुए हैं, उसमें बताया गया है कि अदानी ग्रुप इज़ द लार्जेस्ट इन्वेस्टर एज फार एज द प्राइवेट सेक्टर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन बिहार इज कंसर्न.
हाँ जी.
आपका टिकट साइज़ क्या है?
टिकट प्राइस तो अभी देखिए कि अभी जो प्रोजेक्ट्स अभी आज की तारीख में हमारे चल रहे हैं ऑलरेडी अबाउट 5 to 7,000 करोड़ के चल रहे हैं. प्लस लाइक आई अनाउंस टुडे, वी आर हैप्पी टू लुक एट मच लार्जर इन्वेस्टमेंट एज एंड व्हेन द अपॉर्चुनिटी कम्स.
Thank you, sir.
That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV for more news and updates.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
And impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
To the state of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith. The world's biggest spiritual festival. The divine dip at the spiritual Sangam. A sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascents.
Will Myanmar's junta chief see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascents with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
BJP leader CT Ravi granted bail by the High Court after his dramatic arrest. The High Court orders immediate release of the BJP leader. Remember, CT Ravi was held over his derogatory remark. NDTV's big exclusive. Well, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju's first interview after the stormy winter session. He launches a scathing attack on Rahul Gandhi. He says one man's agenda is stalling the functioning of the parliament. Former RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan puts the UPA government in the dock. He says corruption in UPA times led to bank NPAs. BRS versus Revant government intensifies. A new flashpoint, this time over a land portal. BRS MLAs protest inside the Telangana Assembly. Good evening and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedant Agarwal. Our lead story, well, the Bombay High Court has upheld the tender awarded to Adani Properties Private Limited by the Maharashtra government for the Dharavi slum redevelopment project in Mumbai. A division bench of Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay and Justice Amit Bolkar dismissed a petition filed by UAE-based Seclink Technologies Corporation challenging the state government's decision to award the project to Adani Properties Private Limited. The bench made some important observations. It said that the petition lacks force and effort and hence stands dismissed. Now remember, the Adani Group had emerged as the highest bidder for the 259-hectare Dharavi redevelopment project and bagged it with its over 5,000 crore offer in the 2022 tender process. Now remember, this becomes important given the fact that the Bombay High Court made some important observations as well while dismissing the plea, saying that it lacks force and effort. This has been a politically contentious issue as well. But of course, after the big Maharashtra win for the NDA and the near decimation of Uddhav Thackeray's UBT, what is becoming clear is that, well, his narrative or his agenda against the Adani Group is something that has not been upheld by the people of Maharashtra. Remember, Dharavi redevelopment and the entire project is being seen as a landmark project, an absolute game changer as far as Maharashtra is concerned, as far as Mumbai is concerned, and the High Court also upholding the awarding of the tender. And meanwhile, our big exclusive with the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, well, Kiren Rijiju's first interview after the stormy winter session. He launches a scathing attack on Rahul Gandhi, saying one man's agenda, an obsessive agenda, is stalling the functioning of the Parliament. Take a look.
In the end of it all, Mr. Rijiju, you must be a concerned man because all this impacts the productivity of the houses.
It did impact badly because we had listed so many business. Many important bills could not be passed this time. The output in Lok Sabha was 54.5% and Rajya Sabha was 40%, so much below expectation. And one important thing which I must tell is, since we had listed those bills in the House, we could have pushed through it. We have the numbers, but we believed in dialogue. We believe in discussions and debates. So we did not push any bills in the Deem. In the past, you must have seen many bills were passed during the Deem in the House without much discussion when it was necessary. But this time we decided not to push any bill through the Parliament without discussion. So few bills were passed, then suddenly Congress started this unruly behavior, then we could not pass any bills. But we had, for this discussion on the Constitution, 2 days in Lok Sabha, 2 days in Rajya Sabha. So overall, the output is quite dismal, but that is part of thing now. I have to look for budget session.
With that, we'll take a short break now, but lots more coming up on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India, beating all its competition. NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascends.
Will Myanmar's junta chief see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Sense with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं।
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी।
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow.
Welcome back. Our big focus on the show this evening. Well, the Dharavi redevelopment project and the Bombay High Court has upheld the tender awarded to Adani Properties Private Limited by the Maharashtra government for the slum redevelopment project in Mumbai. It was a division bench of Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay and Justice Amit Borkar which dismissed a petition filed by UAE-based Seckling Technologies Corporation challenging the state government's decision to award the project to Adani Properties Private Limited. The bench said that the petition lacks force and effort and hence stands dismissed. The Adani Group had emerged, remember, as the highest bidder for the 259-hectare Dharavi redevelopment project and backed it with an over 500 crore offer in the 2022 tender process. Well, joining me on the show this evening, Asif Bhamla, spokesperson of the BJP. I'll also be joined shortly by Shishir Joshi, senior urban planner, Mumbai and co-founder and CEO of Project Mumbai. Mr. Bhamla, your response to what the High Court has said, it's made several important observations that the petition lacked force and effort. There have been a series of such petitions and this seems to be part of a larger narrative, perhaps a concerted effort against the Dharavi redevelopment project.
You see, I welcome, as a Mumbaiker, we welcome this move by the Honorable Court, which has upheld the tender that was awarded to the Adani Group. And of course, Dharavi, which has been on the agenda of the state development, is something which went on the back burner while the MB was in power. And I also compliment the decision of the Honorable Court, saying that there is no arbitrariness or unreasonability or perversity towards the decision. So now, when the courts are also upholding this decision in the larger interest, now coming back to the Congress, when their states ruled by their parties, their chief ministers hobnob and ensure that they get maximum investment, be it Ashok Gehlot in Rajasthan, be it Siddaramaiah in Karnataka, be it in Telangana, the chief minister, तब तो सब ठीक है अडानी जी के साथ. लेकिन जहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राज्यों में हमारी जहां सरकारें हैं, वहां यदि हमने विकास के लिए अगर ऑन टेंडर ऑन मेरिट, अब तो कोर्ट ने भी कह दिया फिर भी अडानी गलत है, तो ये क्या नैरेटिव है? एंड टिल व्हेन आर दे गोइंग टू गो ऑन लाइक दिस? महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने आपसे थक कर ये मैंडेट दिया है, आपके जो विरोधाभास,
so that's an important point you're making, that perhaps this anti-development narrative.
Yes, you're anti. We are in favor कि तेलंगाना में भी डेवलपमेंट हो, राजस्थान में भी हो. Let your chief minister hobble with Adani, but here this is a project for which the Mumbai city has been so much on the back burner. There is an infrastructure. Now, let me give you a small example. A small state like Bihar, हम महाराष्ट्र की बात कर रहे हैं, बिहार जैसे स्टेट में with an Adani group's bold investment, the roadmap story of reality investments has changed across the energy and logistics, and you know the kind of development, the kind of employment that has been generated to create and ensure Bihar is now a modern economy, by the way.
Yes,
and I'm not saying this because
so those are all important points you're making. But Mr. Bhamla, coming back to Dharavi, Mr. Bhamla, hear me out. As a Mumbaiker yourself, you know, just sort of break it down for us. How is this investment and this entire redevelopment project actually a pro-people project? I think that's something that's very important to understand.
See, it is a pro-people's project because the conditions in which people are staying there, if you go to see, the houses are dilapidated. It's so many years. There is no electricity. There is no infrastructure within the residents themselves. Tomorrow, the good buildings, the sky-rise buildings, the SRA buildings are nowadays not made like a very regular, basic SRA buildings. They're made with amenities, and not only amenities, the amenities inside and within the flat and the infrastructure. And your infrastructure of the city of Mumbai also improves and improvises with that. For the people, again, you see, if you see the condition, मैं आपको बताऊं, अगर वहाँ रहने वालों का हालात ऐसे कि वहाँ बच्चों की शादियां नहीं होती है, इतना बुरा हाल है. The ceilings are all dilapidated. When there's rain, there's monsoon, there are issues of fires that take place in a place like Dharavi, because we work, my foundation, the Bhamla Foundation, works have worked for 2.5 years during COVID there. So we know the way people living in common toilets. There are no toilets, there are community toilets. Do you know what they have to go through? There is one community toilet for 200 houses. And you are living in posh houses, in posh infrastructure, and वही गरीब हमारा धारावी का जो उसको आप वही हाल में हताश करके रखना चाह रहे. तो आज अगर अडानी जी कि मैं उनको सलाम करता हूं, और मैं इनकी ये जो डायनामिक मूव ले, because Dharavi was some project which I don't think any major developer also would have been able to take this up head on. And Adani, if he has done it, he has done it. Forget the business part. A businessman has to make money. Only then he will do business. You don't expect him to do charity. But in spite of that, the energy he has shown, the resilience he has shown, is of the governments that have been in the power, like the MV in the past. And now with this government, I am sure we have a Devendra Fadnavis ji who is going to ensure that this movement and this scheme for the betterment of the people. This is not a scheme just for betterment of the city. This is a scheme for the betterment of people who are living in dire circumstances. मैं उन लोगों से कहता हूँ, आप जाके धारावी में जाके रहिए 2 दिन और फिर जाके विरोध करिए और फिर कोर्टों में जाइए. अब तो कोर्ट ने भी आपको लताड़ दिया, उसके बाद भी आप लोग अपोज करोगे, उसके बाद भी you people will have the spine to go against an Adani.
So that's an important point you're making, Mr. Bhamla, because this seems to be also part of the larger narrative, as you said, a narrative that was defeated in the state assembly elections as well. This sort of anti-corporate, anti-development narrative, this agenda pushed particularly by Uddhav Thackeray, and this was perhaps a singular agenda. But as somebody who's in power in Maharashtra, Mr. Bhamla, what is your message to the people of Dharavi? Because of course there is some level of anxiety as well. There is this entire thing that many people live under the constant threat of losing a significant portion of their house. As somebody who is in power in Maharashtra, what is a message to the people of Dharavi, given the fact that, as we've discussed earlier as well, that this is a pro-people project. This is actually a project that will help the slum dwellers of Dharavi as well.
This being a totally pro-people's project. देखिए आज जो स्लम में रहता है ना, वो बेवकूफ नहीं है. उसे अपने फायदे और नुकसान का हमसे ज्यादा अंदाजा है। क्यों? उसका घर ही उसकी सारे जीवन की कमाई और पूछती है। आज उन्हें भरोसा है कि आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार है, देवेंद्र जी मुख्यमंत्री है, किसी को भी वहां जो है, इवन द पीपल हु आर, जो अपात्र है जिन्हें हम कहते हैं, दोज हु डोंट हैव द डॉक्यूमेंटेशन बट दे आर इन अ पोजीशन, द गवर्नमेंट हैज इंश्योर्ड कि उन्हें घर मिलना चाहिए और घर विद एमिनिटीज मिलना चाहिए। और वो घर जो आज ये ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे रह रहे हैं, उन्हें 20वें माले के घर में मिलेगा। You know, the view side, what that's going to happen after the development by the Adani group is going to be next level. So people have faith in the government, and that is why they brought us to power. As you already mentioned, that it is a pro-development government. So people को हमें कोई convince करने की जरूरत नहीं है. They're all ready. The entire agreementations, the entire processes, everything is done. So now they have their own set of NGOs and groups of people who go to the court to ensure कि ये इस किस्म की रुकावटें आए। लेकिन अब तो कोर्ट ने भी ये कह दिया है, एंड कोर्ट ने ये जो डिसीजन दिया है, I upheld this decision.
All right.
But I'm sure they have never agreed with the election commission. They will not agree with the courts.
This has continued to be a contentious issue. But Mr. Bhamna, thanks very much for joining us with your perspective there as a Mumbaikar, and of course as somebody who's in government, who's part of the power structure in Maharashtra as well. But moving now to some other news, well, as far as Bihar is concerned, addressing Bihar's Business Connect in Patna, Director Adani Enterprises Pranav Adani emphasized on Bihar's transformation and said, while the Adani Group is already the largest private investor in Bihar, the group will now invest over 20,000 crore more in 3 sectors in Bihar and aims to create 27,000 more jobs with fresh investment. Take a look.
आप पिछले बार भी यहाँ आए थे इन्वेस्टमेंट समिट में और इस बार भी आए हैं। जहाँ तक अदानी के कमिटमेंट की बात है बिहार को लेके, उसमें क्या चेंजेस हैं?
नहीं, वी आर फुल्ली कमिटेड। हमने लास्ट टाइम भी जब लास्ट ईयर में आया था बिज़नेस कनेक्ट में, बिहार बिज़नेस कनेक्ट में, तभी भी हमने बोला था कि हम और करेंगे, ज़्यादा इन्वेस्ट करेंगे। यहाँ पर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, ईज़ ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, सपोर्ट फ्रॉम ऑल दी गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर वेरी गुड। और हम ये चेष्टा करते हैं कि जो सभी बिजनेसेस में जो हम इन्वॉल्व है एज अ ग्रुप, दी अदानी ग्रुप, वो यहाँ पर करेंगे। वेदर
किस किस सेक्टर में अदानी ग्रुप वुड बी इंटरेस्टेड और टिकट साइज़ क्या होगा? व्हाट हैव यू प्रॉमिस्ड टू द गवर्नमेंट?
नो, सी राइट नाउ, लास्ट टाइम जैसे हमने बताया था कि जुलाई के महीने में हम लोग ने यहाँ वर्सलीगंज में 10 मिलियन टन्स का सीमेंट का प्लांट फाउंडेशन स्टोन ऑलरेडी कर लिया है। ऑनरेबल सीएम साहब भी आए थे, तो वो तो एक एक्सपेंशन कर रहे हैं और भी लोकेशंस देख रहे हैं। उसके सिवाय हमारे सीजीडी सेक्टर में, उसके सिवाय हमारे एग्री लॉजिस्टिक्स सेक्टर में, ईवी सीबीजी सब में तो देख ही रहे हैं। एनर्जी सेक्टर में भी हम अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ देख रहे हैं, क्या क्या नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है यहाँ पर। क्योंकि देखिए यहाँ पर जो बिहार जिस तरह भी ग्रो कर रहा है, इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी ऑफ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंस, इज़ गोइंग टू बी ऑफ एनर्जी बेसिकली, कि हाउ टू इंक्रीज़ दी एनर्जी कैपेसिटी।
जितने लास्ट आपसे सवाल, जितने भी प्रोमिसेस हुए हैं या एमओयू साइन हुए हैं, उसमें बताया गया है कि अदानी ग्रुप इज़ द लार्जेस्ट इन्वेस्टर एज फार एज द प्राइवेट सेक्टर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन बिहार इज कंसर्न।
हाँ जी।
आपका टिकट साइज़ क्या है?
टिकट प्राइस तो अभी देखिए कि अभी जो प्रोजेक्ट्स अभी आज की तारीख में हमारे चल रहे हैं, ऑलरेडी अबाउट 5 to 7,000 करोड़ के चल रहे हैं। प्लस लाइक आई अनाउंस टुडे, वी आर हैप्पी टू लुक एट मच लार्जर इन्वेस्टमेंट एज एंड व्हेन द अपॉर्चुनिटी कम्स।
Thank you, sir.
So that will take a short break now, but lots more coming up on the other side.
कैशबैक है स्लो, करते नहीं इम्प्रेस, लाइफ
free, easy, कितना कुछ free, only with single ID. ये भी free, वो भी free, कितना कुछ free, only with single ID. Get it free with single ID. कितने सारे apps हैं मुझसे जुड़े, brands मेरे पास है सबसे बड़े. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Only with single ID. Get it free with single ID.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn rewards with top brands.
Get it free with single ID.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
This week on India Ascents.
Will Myanmar's junta chiefs see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men? How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end? And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Ascents with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From
Hello and
and welcome. This is India Sense. I'm Gauri Dwivedi. Before we get you the headlines this evening, the QR code, viewers, on your screens is what you need to scan to get all the stories, interviews and perspectives of India Sense. Let's get started with the show headlines coming in first. First up, as Myanmar's rebels gain ground at an unprecedented pace, India Sense decodes how an altercation with Bangladesh may very well be on the cards. India-China resumes special representative talks after 5 years. The Asian giants now vow to return to the 2005 agreement, paving the way for possible settlement and resolution to border issues. Milestone in India's diplomatic outreach to the Gulf. Prime Minister Modi's visit to Kuwait this week expected to further strengthen India's ties with the Gulf Cooperation Council. US Federal Reserve's recent shift towards a more hawkish approach triggers widespread reactions in global financial markets, including India. And from Trump's tariffs threat to internal Liberal lawmakers' mutiny, Canada's downfall is playing out in real time, and Prime Minister Trudeau is now living on borrowed time. All right, our big story this week on India Sense continues to be around Myanmar. The story we touched upon, viewers, last week as well, where the clock is ticking and the stakes have never been higher for the region, which includes not just the junta, but Bangladesh and India as well, given how strategic this entire area is. And India Sense told you, viewers, last week as well, and we tell you more about the Arakan Army's advances and what it means for the region. Arakan Army has now seized Mongdo, which is in fact a very important town, and now all eyes are on Chittagong, an extremely important town for Bangladesh. In fact, last week the world witnessed the fall of Mongdo as Myanmar's Arakan Army claimed victory, and their march seems unstoppable. In fact, they are now reportedly eyeing Chittagong, which is Bangladesh's key coastal city, forcing the Yunus government to reportedly shut down all boat traffic along the Naf River, a move that signals how serious this entire situation has actually become, and few regions actually are as economically important as the Naf River, and we'll tell you why. Fact number one, it serves as a vital waterway for Bangladesh's trade, and in fact connects the entire Bay of Bengal. And that's what you can see right there. The Naf River is the key waterway that's most important, viewers, and that's why we are pointing that out for you to understand the significance of what's happening in that region. In fact, the Naf River is also a major entry point for imported goods, fueling Bangladesh's economy. So if here on the Naf River, if Arakan Army has a post, it has larger both economic and social, political and other important ramifications for Bangladesh. And the third important aspect is that the river plays a crucial role in the local fishing industry that supports the livelihoods of thousands. If this river falls into conflict, the ripple effect could in fact be very significant for Bangladesh's economy. As I said, this is no ordinary border zone. It is a gateway to the strategic St. Martin Island as well, a region that Bangladesh cannot afford to lose. And the Arakan Army's expansion could spell trouble, not just for the local security, but for Bangladesh's larger goals as well. And now, let's focus on why we are talking about this on India Sense, why this region is so important for us viewers, because this impacts India on multiple fronts. Myanmar is India's bridge to Southeast Asia and for greater connectivity for its entire Northeast regions. To stabilize Myanmar, India must use diplomatic engagement, humanitarian support and coordination with ASEAN countries. New Delhi needs to have more engagement with ethnic groups as well, and not just the junta with whom we have been engaging so far. And in fact, listening to what the External Affairs Ministry spokesperson had to say on how things are unraveling right now in Myanmar.
So, yes, we are following developments in Myanmar very closely. We understand that the fighting has intensified and we are following the evolving situation very closely. You would also understand that some time back, because of the security situation, we had relocated our people serving in our consulate in Sitwe to Yangon. But even though the relocation has happened, our consulate in Sitwe continues to be functional.
Ideally, India, Bangladesh and Myanmar can work together to create strong economic and strategic partnerships and relationships. But with Yunus choosing extremist elements over ties with India, New Delhi now needs to engage more to remain relevant and in fact a major player in this region. More so since the flux in Bangladesh is pretty much still going on and that turmoil is set to impact India's northeast regions as well at some point or the other. The first wide-angle story on the show is from Bangladesh. It is the 53rd and 3rd anniversary of Vijay Divas, the victory India and Bangladesh jointly, in fact, celebrate over Pakistan and birth of Bangladesh. But that has changed now. Bangladesh under Yunus is busy scrubbing history practically. And Yunus's government key aide says India had no role in the war. That's what Yunus government is saying. And neither did Mujibur Rahman, whose Mukti Bahini in fact waged the war after Pakistani army committed mass murder, mass rapes over what was once in fact East Pakistan. And under the government of Mohammad Yunus, this dangerous myth is now being rekindled as part of a larger plan, which includes spreading false rumors, including the claim that Bangladesh military commanders were deliberately sidelined by New Delhi. In fact, there is now this rumor that's going on that General Usmani was not being given his due or was not given his due by New Delhi on purpose, but instead the fact was that he was invited, but his helicopter could not reach Dhaka, where over 90,000 Pakistani soldiers had surrendered because India waged a war against it, and that's how Bangladesh was birthed. But Bangladesh's political climate has toxic anti-India sentiments that are fanned by the once banned Jamaat-e-Islami Islamic outfit, which has now been mainstreamed and is now calling the shots in Dhaka. But it doesn't end there, viewers. Under Mohammad Yunus, Bangladesh is now embracing Pakistan and wants that the two arch rivals and enemies should bury the past and move together. There is nothing that binds Bangladesh and Pakistan except for extreme ideological thinking. And this explains why Bangladesh has waived off the condition of 100% physical inspection of consignments from Pakistan, abolished special security desk at the Dhaka airport that earlier scrutinized all Pakistani passengers. Connect the dots, viewers. What happens when Pakistani goods and people can easily come into Bangladesh? Why would they want that? Now, to now cast India as the villain is not only a distortion of history, but a very dangerous road to take. As we remember our past, we must ask, is Bangladesh truly moving forward, or is it slipping back into the darkness of division? The truth of 16th of December is clear. Bangladesh was liberated because India fought with Pakistan. It defeated Pakistan, and 9,000 Indian soldiers laid down their lives for the birth of Bangladesh. And no extremist Islamist agenda can ever change that fact of history. The other wide-angle story on the show is from Pakistan, which is now standing at a dangerous crossroads. In fact, it's crossed between a crumbling alliance that is unfolding as far as Afghanistan is concerned, and there's a political storm that's brewing at home. For long, Pakistani deep state had deep ties with Haqqani network, but that seems to be unraveling. Add to it the foes at home with Imran Khan knocking on the doors of the deep establishment, looking to, in fact, break that chain completely. What happens next, and how long will the status quo actually survive in Pakistan? This report tells you.
Pakistan finds itself caught between a rock and a hard place. First up, the assassination of Khalilur Rahman Haqqani, a key Taliban minister and senior leader of the Haqqani network. It has sent shockwaves through Islamabad and the entire region. For years, the Haqqani network was Pakistan's hidden hand in Afghanistan, an ally in the shadows used to strike at foes like the Balochistan Liberation Army. But now, with Haqqani's death and the Taliban battling multiple insurgent factions, Pakistan's once dependable proxy is crumbling. Islamabad is scrambling for new allies in Kabul as its influence in the region begins to slip away. As the Taliban is bogged down in its fight against ISIS-K and other militant factions, Pakistan's hopes of maintaining a foothold in Afghanistan are now looking increasingly uncertain. On the home front, former Prime Minister Imran Khan is pushing back against the establishment. From his prison cell, Khan has vowed to lead a civil disobedience movement, citing a litany of constitutional violations and state oppression. Khan has accused the ruling powers of engineering elections, targeting his party, and systematically undermining Pakistan's judicial independence. In his words, Imran Khan says the nation is compelled to start a civil disobedience movement. For Imran Khan, it is not just about reclaiming power. It is about his political survival. Pakistan now finds itself on the knife's edge, facing the threat of growing militancy with groups like the TTP and the ISIS Quran gaining ground, while simultaneously grappling with the deepening political crisis led by Imran Khan. From the fall of the Haqqani network to the growing civil unrest at home, Pakistan's position in South Asia is now becoming extremely precarious. And in this delicate moment, the question remains, can Pakistan navigate the double-edged sword it now faces, or will it falter under the combined weight of its external and internal pressures? The fallout from this storm has only just begun.
All right, we slip into a very short break. We come back on the other side and tell you what are UK courts saying as far as Sharia law is concerned. Stay with us.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi,
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
Welcome to the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024 ceremony. Our absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to one of India's most iconic celebrations of excellence and achievement, the NDTV Indian of the Year 2024.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh.
Welcome back. back. You're watching India Sense. We now turn our attention to what is happening in Canada and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and why I think he's now on borrowed time. There are three reasons why I feel he's now running out of time. Point number one, reason number one, that the mocking and trolling by President-elect Donald Trump is set to intensify as he tries to expedite Trudeau's departure, since the two men have a very uneasy and difficult relationship. The second reason, Khalistani politician Jagmeet Singh, who's keeping Trudeau's government afloat, is waiting for the 25th of February next year before pulling the plug, because that's when he will complete 6 years in power and will be entitled to pension as per Canadian law. And the third important fact, that the by-election in Cloverdale, where Trudeau's LDP dropped from 39% to a mere 16%, tells you that the writing is on the wall. And this report tells you just how significant the backlash awaits Justin Trudeau.
Ottawa is in chaos as Canada's political ship is sinking. On the heels of a stunning resignation from his number two, Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, Trudeau is battling both internal and external fires. Hours before delivering a key fiscal update to Parliament, she threw in the towel. At the heart of the split, a bitter battle over how best to handle the fallout from US President Donald Trump's aggressive economic nationalism, and closer to home, the mess Trudeau's policies have created. Trump's tariffs are a sword of Damocles hanging over Canada's economy. A 25% levy on Canadian goods will hammer a nation already teetering on the edge. And with Canada's deficit now ballooning to 60 billion Canadian dollars, 20 billion beyond Freeland's target, the economy has never been in worse shape. Trudeau's domestic policies are little more than a band-aid on a bullet wound. Canada's economy grew at an annualized rate of just 1% in the third quarter, less than the Bank of Canada had predicted. And future growth is expected to slow down further, a fact that even Trudeau's deputy could not hide. The political winds are already shifting. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, once a key ally, is now calling for the Prime Minister's resignation. However, he shied away from calling for a vote of no confidence. Even within Trudeau's own party, the mutiny is gaining momentum. Liberal MPs like Wayne Long are questioning Trudeau's ability to lead, and some saying it's time for change. With Arjun Samar Mahendran, Bureau Report, NDTV World.
All right, let's get you the top voice segment on the show. We have Jeremy Miller, who is a data reporter of the Washington Post, joining me to really understand the kind of influence that Elon Musk wields and how significant that is. Jeremy, thanks so much for joining me from Georgia. Let me start by asking you, you've been crunching the data numbers. What do they suggest in terms of the reach that Elon Musk has?
Yeah, absolutely. What we found is that Elon Musk's audience on Twitter is humongous and is far, far bigger than any other political figure in the United States. So, for instance, his tweets got 133 billion views, 133 million views between July and December. And that's more than 16 times President-elect Donald Trump, and more than 16 times the audience of all of the members of the US Congress combined. So that's just a huge amount of visibility for one man, who, especially in the run-up to the US election about a month or 6 weeks ago, more than 40% of Elon Musk's posts were about politics. And we've seen him using this megaphone to influence US politics, even yesterday, when he sent a couple of tweets expressing his unhappiness with a bill in the U.S. Congress, and just a few hours later, that bill was withdrawn. And so, for someone who is not elected, not appointed, doesn't have an official government role, that's just really novel.
I know what you're saying in terms of an unelected person having that kind of a power, but is this really unprecedented? Because that also will make me ask you the kind of impact this could have in terms of U.S. policy making going forward.
Right. I mean, that's an important question. It's a difficult one to answer with data, but we know that he's been expressing his opinions on Twitter and privately to President-elect Donald Trump, his opinion on appointees, the finance secretary, the treasury secretary, for instance, as well as that bill I mentioned. And his views here are his opinions here are seen by just huge numbers of people whenever he wants to, and whether you agree with him or not obviously affects how you think about that. But it is really just an interesting phenomenon.
But Jeremy, think about it. He's the owner of the platform. Why on earth will he not use the platform to gain power if he can?
Yeah, I mean, whether you think it's good or bad, that's up to you. He does own the platform, and we have seen him make some algorithmic changes, and to the point where people see a lot more content. If you think about how Twitter used to work 10 years ago, your feed was just the tweets from people who you chose to follow in order. Now it's ordered by this sort of complicated and opaque algorithm that chooses a bunch of tweets to show you. They might be from people you follow, or they might be ones that the algorithm has picked for you. And we know anecdotally that a lot of people who don't follow Elon Musk see his tweets anyways, which is probably where some of those views come from. You could say, oh, well, these are really popular tweets, so it might be that people do want to see them. And that's not a question I can really answer. But it does lead to this result of him getting a huge amount of attention from people who use the website.
All right, Jeremy Miller, thanks much for speaking to me. This is a story that we're going to come back to simply because Elon Musk is said to be so important in the next US administration. All right, it's time to now take a look at a trend that is becoming quite worrying on Wall Street. You have these young bankers who are clocking in 90 hours. They've got Ivy League degrees, but that don't seem to be enough for them. They need to now, in fact, shape up or they will be falling behind. The price is too steep and it looks like they are resorting to everything that they possibly can, including drugs. This report tells you just how significant that number of bankers are.
The pressure on young Wall Street bankers is unbearable. It's no longer just about long hours and high stakes, it's about survival. In the race for success, where the bar is set by Ivy League credentials and brutal work weeks, the toll is immense. For many, the grueling 90-hour weeks are just the beginning. With no weekends off, young professionals are often forced to work 210-hour weeks, pushing their physical and mental limits to the breaking point. And it's not just about numbers or deals, it's about endurance. The problem, the system is broken. While passing out of top-tier colleges like Harvard or Yale doesn't guarantee success on Wall Street, it does come with one exception: constant performance. But the price of admission is steep, and for many, it's too much to handle. So they turn to something to help them survive: Adderall. Once reserved for ADHD, the prescription stimulant has become the drug of choice for junior bankers fighting exhaustion. A little pill, a quick fix to get them through the long hours, the endless presentations, and the sleepless nights. Adderall promises enhanced focus, but the cost is high. Anxiety, insomnia, heart palpitations, and a growing sense of emptiness are the hidden side effects. A broken system feeds broken spirits. And while the pill is easily obtainable through doctors, the real danger lies in the culture it fuels. A cutthroat world where success is everything, but health and well-being come last. Once, cocaine was the drug of choice, the fuel that powered the wolves of Wall Street. Now it's Adderall, a more legally acceptable but equally dangerous alternative. The high may be sharper, the focus more intense, but the crash can be catastrophic. And who's left standing when the lights go out? The new wolves are still chasing the dream, but in this unforgiving world, it's unclear whether the dream is worth the price they're paying.
All right, quick take segment on the show. First up, the United Kingdom, the land of Magna Carta, the birthplace of secularism, has ironically become the new hub for Islamist influence in the West through the shocking rise of Sharia councils. The High Court has legitimized one such council, citing a fatwa issued by the controversial preacher Haytham al-Haddad, a man whose hardline views are hardly aligned with modern British values. A recent investigation reveals that Britain is now the epicenter for Sharia courts in the Western world, with 900 cases a year and expanding influence across Europe and North America. Secular campaigners argue that this is not just a misstep, it's a blatant erosion of the principles that once defined the United Kingdom. Ironically, in the land of free speech and secular law, the echoes of Sharia are growing louder, and with each fatwa, Britain inches further from the values it once held dear. All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of India Sense. Thanks so much for watching. This week on India Ascends.
Will Myanmar's junta chief see the same fate as Syria's Bashar al-Assad? Beijing in limbo as Xi's purge extends to his own men. How Trudeau's own misgivings are likely to become his end. And broken souls in a broken system, why young Wall Street bankers are getting by using ADHD pills.
All this and more only on India Sense with me, Gauri Dwivedi, at these timings on the NDTV network.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था